And there was these little rock statues in there, like little, action figures. And he would set him up in a certain way, like a little Stonehenge on his bed, and his room was dark. It's always dark in there. And even though his room faced the street, it was like a blackout curtain on that side. So he couldn't see out, and I was the house almost across the street. And he set him up in a certain way. And when a little kid's sneaking and you still see that they're sneaking and they're trying to be sneaky and you think it's cute. You know what I mean? They're trying to hide something, but they keep a cookie. He's kind of being like that happy, but it was wicked. And he said, call me Moon. I said, Moon, come play with my friends. He's all excited. And I knew something weird was going on in there. And there was wind and energy. And I peeked in the door. I was scared, man. I peeked in the door and something was wrong in there. And it was like, there was something happening. I don't know the language to describe it, but like.
And how old would he be at this point in time?
By the record, he would be 7 or 8. But he was
7 or 8.
2-year-old, like a baby that just learned how to walk. So later I would wonder and doubt myself, is he one of his grandfather's lab experiments? Because I go, is he human? I asked my aunt. She's like, I don't know. Those Illuminati. Okay, he opened up something, a portal, a Stargate, whatever. But he was excited and he was jumping up and down. And
so he was able to open up a Stargate in his room.
Whatever you want to call it. It was a different dimension.
Yeah, a portal. Well, portal would be the actual name.
And I've been so embarrassed to say it out loud that everybody would laugh at me or lock me up. I only told my aunt.
So tell me what happened. Something's not right. Something's scary in that room. Describe what you see and what happens.
I went to the edge of the doorway and I peeked in there, and I was afraid just to peek. And there was something happening in there, like a sci-fi movie. And there was he set him up like a little Stonehenge on his bed. And he was tiny, like I told you, so tiny. And he was jumping up and down and he was saying, Moon, come play with my friends. Okay. That right there says he knew exactly what he was doing. It wasn't like he accidentally opened a portal and didn't know what he had friends. So I peeked in there and I was so scared. I'm embarrassed to tell this. It's so ridiculously weird. And he was being lifted and he was starting to go. He was being lifted and he was being lifted and was being sucked in. I know this sounds ridiculous, but my aunt told me don't let nothing happen to that effing little kid. And normally I would never let anything happen to a child that was watching. I would run between them and a pit bull. And I said, but the way she said it, I said, why? And she goes, he's going to rule the world someday. And I'm like, what? Him? What do you mean? Why? And she said, don't you know nothing? They're the Illuminati. She would always do that to me. But she'd say, don't let nothing happen to him. He's going to rule the world someday. And I was like, that kid? So I grabbed his little arm and I got sucked in. It's like we went up and then we went down and it was dark in there, but it was glowing. And I can only tell you that when I remember my peripheral vision because I was afraid to look at it, because when you're a little kid and you look at the cartoons and there's a bad boogeyman in the Scooby-Doo and you see its glowing eyes, it's like, don't look at its eyes, he'll get you. And I remember that whole, if you don't look at their eyes, they can't get you. And I was being sucked in and sucked down and I had his little arm. And it was weird because there was no bottom. And there were these creatures in there and they were giant and they were semi-shaped like humans. They were glorious. They weren't like Smeagol's or any creepy little demon dudes. They were like beautiful, ancient creatures that moved in a different time, and they were giant. And they had a different head. there was a bird head and like a cat head and a jackal head. And I would compare them, because I'm not super educated to like Egyptian type of things, to the types of things may had, little artifacts of. I'm not from that region, but
well, this also describes angels and devils in the book of Revelation. With multiple heads, different animals pointing different ways.
Yeah, the angels have many faces.
Look at the guards of the gates of the Garden of Eden, right?
Yeah.
Even alone, like that's what sounds like what you're describing.
And they were beautiful but terrifying. They weren't on my side. I'm on Team Jesus. And but I was told not to say that name over there. And
well, of course not, because they would flee.
My aunt told me never say that name over there. They don't want to hear Jack Black about your Jesus. And I said, because I remember when I got saved, I wanted to go save everybody. And she's like, don't you say that name over there. She said,
okay, well, let's finish the story, and then I want to go to your conversion and how you got saved.
Okay. So we're coming down in there. One of them grabbed me by the throat. And I closed my eyes, and I had him. And I was tiny, like a little rag doll compared to it. About him.
Sure.
Okay, after he did that, opening the portal thing, I didn't tell what he did. And then I asked one of my the head mother of the Santeria, and I think she's the head mother of those people at our southern borders, they're calling them in. Okay, they paid for this a long time ago. But I said, is he the Antichrist? And she didn't blink. She said, no, but he will present the mark. And when you see him do that, the stage will be dead.
She said that?